Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Friends Podcast, man. Thank you so much for joining us. If it's your first
Yes,
time, thank
sir.
you for coming through. We appreciate all the listeners, man. My name is Matt, and I'm here with my two co-hosts.
What's up, y'all? It's Jermaine.
And I'm Ryan. This is the Friends Podcast. Make sure you check us out. We're posted everywhere: Apple Podcast, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our social at the Friends Pod, Instagram and TikTok.
Most definitely. So usually me, Ryan, Jermaine, we chop it up about different topics we want to talk about. But today we got a very special guest in the building, man. So go ahead and introduce
Mm-hmm.
yourself, man.
Man, I appreciate you all for having me on. My name's Amari J. You already know, man. Singer, songwriter, rapper, entrepreneur, and activist, man.
Yeah, man. So we're gonna get into all that, like just all your different titles, everything you got going on, musically, and then, and everything that you got going on. So let's go ahead and get into it. So Amari J, go ahead and start by telling the people where you from and how that kind of shaped you, to be the
Yes,
person that you
sir.
are today.
Yeah, man. So, I'm from the Bay Area, y'all. It's a lot that's, went on in California. As y'all know, we got a lot of gang culture going on. We got a lot of positive things going on too as well. A big music scene. Basically, as a kid, I always wanted to make music. Just being influenced by my family, like with the R&B always around and the Jackson Fives and the New Edition. So that projected me to be like, okay, these is kids doing this. So I'm like, let me go ahead and try to do it. So like sixth grade, that's when I kind of started my journey into the music. And then it got serious like 2013 when I got a song with Ray J.
So, like, let's go back. Sixth grade, right?
Yeah.
What's the music sounding like then?
It was bad quality, I was recording on Mixcraft in the closet, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Mic wasn't working. I was the laughing stock of the school, actually. That's something nobody really know about me. I was the laughing stock at my school for a while. I was a dude they play in the parties and be like, listen to this dude. Man, he weak as hell.
Damn.
I'll be the laughing stock. Then
Mm.
I cleaned it up, y'all, and then started getting features with the people who was dissing me, they favorite artists. I was getting features with them. The whole game changed. Everybody acted fake love, all that came.
Was you always cool with the DJs and getting them to play the record back in the day?
Yeah, I was always cool with the DJs. I say shout out to the DJs for that. I say my biggest thing was social media because that's how I connected with most of them DJs and grassroots promotion with the CDs as well. So definitely shout out to the DJs for sure.
Now let me get to my therapy bag right quick. So like when nigga was talking shit, talking about, oh, listen to this nigga music, man. This nigga trash, this nigga that. Like, did that fuel you, or like, how did that make you feel back then, or did it motivate you to like step your game up?
That's a good question. Honestly, oftentimes I do wonder if it did motivate me. I guess you could say it did, but I can't really say that was one of my driving forces. I was already motivated off
Hmm.
of looking at Bobby Brown, Whitney Houston, New Edition, Jackson 5, Michael Jackson, and all them type of artists. I was already inspired, so it wasn't nothing anybody or anyone was gonna say. My family was hard on me about certain things, like they wasn't rocking with this music all the way. So I've been, having to deal with that or deal with the doubt or deal with people that ain't with it. So I say it honestly depressed me as a kid though, to be real with you, man. It honestly depressed me as a kid. I was feeling real bad every day. I was feeling bad coming to
Hmm.
school. I was feeling bad about myself. I was feeling bad about my music. Like I'll never be able to sound good. So um I say it was more discouraging than anything. But like I said, I was already motivated on a mission. So it's like they didn't motivate. I ain't gonna give them that credit, bro. They didn't motivate me to do nothing.
What made you start doing music? Like in the first place? Like, why did you even get going with it?
Other
What
artists.
made you feel like, hey, I think I can make a record just as good or better? I know you said you were looking at these legends like the Bobby Browns, the Whitney Houston, things of that nature, but you can have be a big fan of music, but what makes you want to say, "Hey, I'm gonna do this"? And was there a particular song that you were making or writing that said, "Hey, like, was it a love for the writing, or was it just putting the beat together? Were you making the beats? Like, how did it all begin?" Like, I'm trying to understand your love for music and why did you start doing it?
Yeah, got you. That's a good question, man. Yeah, the influence of other artists, but like I say, probably like when I was just singing, up until like eighth grade. Then I made my first rap song, and I just made it just for the new generation. I really don't care about rapping. I just do it for the audience because that's what they want. You feel me? And they like it. So I'm gonna get an audience what they want because I'm an entertainer. But y'all also gonna have to come here and see what I'm talking about with all the positivity, the youth stuff. So basically, I say the Bay Area artist really inspired me to be like, all right, I could do this because it was an artist named Young Kurt that came out. Keep in mind, he was 2 years older than me. He dropped his first song at 15, uh, on his own, mixed and mastered on his own, made the beat for the song on his own, like that. And then making the first rap song, that's when I'm like, nah, I'm gonna do this because I'm like, he only 2 years older than me, and I know he didn't have the best studio in the world, but it sounded good, and he shook the whole bay with it at 15. Nobody did that. So that's kind of what projected me to be like, nah, I could do this too. You feel me?
So when you started, obviously like sixth grade is mad young. So you were,
Yeah.
in the closet recording yourself. Like who were you learning from or working with were you working with other like kids your age? Did you have like 15-year-olds like Young Kirk that you could like reach out to and connect with? Like who were like your peers at that time when you were just getting started?
To be honest with you, nobody believed in me, so I was all on my own. Nobody wanted to rock with me. Nobody believed in me. Nobody wanted to make no moves. They always talking about it. I was a person that go out and do it. So all y'all sitting here talking about you want to make music and be a rapper, I went out and did it. But let me say this though. Shout out to my brother Malachi. He was a dancer. He was a dancer in middle school, high school, and he actually made his first song. And that's what made me be like, well, if he gonna make a song, I'm gonna try to make a song too. So like he motivated me. I'm gonna give him that credit that I actually never gave him till now. When I heard him put a song together, that's when I knew it was possible. I didn't even know it was possible. I thought you had to go to $1 million studio and all this
Yeah.
and all that. Right. And his songs were sounding cool. So I say Malachi was the first person to be like, let's make a song together. Let's really do something and let's put it out. And me and him, people made fun of us, but we held it down and we did what we had to do. And now look at us now, we doing great things. So I say
Hmm.
Malachi, and then after that,
Hmm.
they call him Lil M the Prince. But after that, it was like then I became the driving force for all of my friends and the people around me. Like, man, I'm trying to get in the studio with you. I'm trying to make a song with you. That's when even though they didn't reach their hand out for me, I reached my hand back out for them after that. Like, hey, come get on this album with me. Come get on this song with me. And I already got my name buzzing and stuff like that on the internet. So I gave them, come on, come with me.
What was that song that got you buzzing, or that you realized,
Good question.
hey, I'm starting to get some fans and they're loving my music? What song was that for you?
The first rap song I made in eighth grade. It was No Ho remix by D-Lo, the artist out here named D-Lo. That was like
We
one
don't
of
give a
the
fuck about no ho like that one.
yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Hmm.
a Bay Area anthem and stuff. And so
Hmm.
everybody was getting on that beat. And so I got on that beat, and that projected a lot of fans because they never heard me rap before, and I was gassing on there, but like I wasn't even tripping off of it. But like, that's what it was. And then when I got my song with Ray J. But before that, it was also a song called "Ain't Tripping Off Her."
I was gonna say,
Like,
you remember the eighth grade verse at
oh
all?
no! I don't remember the whole thing. I don't remember the whole thing. My friend do though. My homie, he remember.
That's
I
dope.
wish I
That's really
did.
dope. That's super dope though.
I'm trying to understand when did the hate turn to you started getting some fans, because you said you were feeling down about people not liking your music and people not wanting to play your music when you were young, but now you're saying like eighth grade you started to get a little buzz and people started to love your music. So that was probably within like a couple years.
Yeah. Yep. It was definitely within a couple years. So it was kind of a fast transition, you could say. But them 2 years was hard years, man. To be honest, because it was every day people making fun of my music. Every
And
day
middle
people got
schoolers are mean.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. So the older kids was making fun of me like it was, you know what I mean, like every day. You know what I mean? Every class period.
Damn. No, that's
Yeah.
all bad. That's all
Yeah.
bad. Let's fast forward a little bit though, because I do. You mentioned Ray J. I do kind of want to talk about like how that came about and where like did you like meet him on the street or something, or just like how that came about to get a record with Ray J and just how that turned you up. You know what I'm saying? So kind of speak on that.
So for sure, man. Shout out to Trey. I always got to shout out to my big homie Trey. Rolling 60s, you already know. But he dated my auntie for a while. He's a producer, a businessman, entrepreneur. He's on the Dog Pound. He was signed to the Dog Pound. And Snoop
Okay.
Dogg, when I guess when Snoop Dogg ended the Dog Pound, like music wise, like he gave everybody a check. You know what I'm saying? So he gave Trey a check and a whole bunch of OGs or whoever else was rocking with him. Trey a OG for Snoop Dogg though. So like,
Hmm.
and, you know, my auntie was older, rest in peace. But Auntie Diane. But he was dating her for a while. Then when he moved back to Las Vegas to start his own business and stuff like that, create his own production, Talent Pound Production. Shout out to him. When he created his own production, that's when I reached out. And so he gave me the song with Ray J. Like, hey man, I got this song I wrote and produced for Ray J. He own it. We ain't really gonna do nothing with it, or he ain't tripping off the song. I just throw this song to you. So come out here to
Mm.
Vegas. I'm gonna fly you out. I'll even let you meet Ray J and just vibe with him and whoop de woo. So I'm like, all right, cool. So bam, flew out, did my verse, and that was pretty much how that happened. And
Mm.
Ray J, they knew Ray J wasn't gonna push the song, so they was like, might as well just give it to me. So that's all I needed to push my own brand and make myself bigger. Because keep in mind, this 2013 when Ray J was still buzzing, Ray J was still hot, Ray J was still relevant in the music industry. So
Hmm.
What
that brought
song
me
was
up.
that around 2013? Was Red
It
J doing?
it's called New Lifestyle. That's the song that we got. It's called
No,
New
I'm talking about
Lifestyle.
what song was he buzzing with around that time, 2013, Red J.
Mm.
I
Was
want to
that the
say,
like hit it first time?
yeah, I was gonna say hit it first. I was just about to say I want to say hit it first because I vividly
I hit it.
remember.
I hit it.
Yeah, I made an album after that whole situation. I had a similar situation. We even talked about the Kim K situation. I ain't gonna go too into depth about that, but we did have some conversations about that, just about
Hmm.
because my album I titled it after the Ray J, and I titled it I Put Her On. A lot of people don't know after I hit it first, Ray J was gonna come out with I Put Her On. So I took that from Ray because he never was gonna drop it. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So that's how that went. And I had basically a similar situation with Ray that he had with Kim K on some model stuff.
So, how old were you at this point when this song came out?
That was 2013, so I was fresh out of high school, 18.
Okay,
18.
so at this point, you would have some years in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you kind of talk about what went into that, like putting your verse together and all that type of stuff? Like, was you nervous? Like, damn, I gotta really turn this shit up because it's Ray J, or like, how did you feel and how did you put that together?
Yeah, you were still really young.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
was. Yeah, I was. Hell, man, I was nervous as hell. It's Ray J, so I'm thinking in my head, you know, what am I gonna do? Type of thing, right?
Hmm.
Um, came to find. Well, I just wrote the verse, and I wasn't concerned about the verse. I wasn't concerned about the song. My thing was promotion. My thing was marketing. That's all I was concerned about: marketing and promoting this song to help me out and build my brand. So that was my whole thing. I already knew. Okay, bam. I just got thrown something. I just got thrown a bone. Let me take it all the way and do what I got to do. So it was never like, oh, I'm trying to be the biggest superstar off of this song. Or I'm trying to blow. It wasn't even really about the song. It was about the feature and then putting myself in position with that.
You mentioned that like your focus wasn't even so much on the verse, but more so like I know that being connected to Ray J is like a good look for me. This can really, help elevate me, put me in certain conversations. What have been some other strategic moves that you've made along the way of like, yo, I gotta be next to this person or affiliated with this person or in the same conversations with certain people? Like, what are some other moves like that you've made along the way? Because you were young to make a move like that. That was really smart to think about it that way at 18.
Thank you. And that brought most of my social media following. People don't know like that. That brought probably half of my following. And I stayed consistent with it. Other things like that was linking up with Chris Brown's production team, Bobby Love. We got 2 songs. That's one of Chris Brown's platinum songwriters, 50 Cent's platinum songwriter, Janae Echo, Omarion. This dude is amazing. The list go on. He had his hand in a lot of things. He had his hand in a Fan of a Fan album with Chris Brown and Tiger.
Classic.
Privacy, Grass Ain't Greener, Pills and Automobiles. I mean, the list go on. Episode that we ended up writing together, and then he sold it to E40, Chris Brown, T.I., and that became the song Episode you see today. But I got the original song, so it's like stuff like that is where I made more moves. Getting in contact with people from the record labels. Shout out DJ Charisma. It's a lot of people that I've Marlon Wayans. It's a lot of people I've met, worked with, marketed my product to. Like I said, shout out Nipsey Hussle's team, Black Sam. So it's a lot of people. Adam 22 from No Jumper. It's a lot of people.
So getting in contact with somebody like Bobby Love, like how did that happen? Was that a social media conversation? Was that, obviously you're in California. As an outsider from Michigan, it's like, oh, is it easy to run into certain people? Is it easier to just, naturally be in the same spaces with certain people?
Not at all. Not at all. It depends, right? It's very random and very rare. So that's not how it happened for me. It's a couple occasions where I was in the same room or, randomly just seeing somebody or something. But like, if, most of the time it's at their place of business or it's like something that clicks up, something that links up. But I'm the type of dude, I was standing outside of record labels 5 a.m, 5 p.m. every day. Switching out to every different record label in LA, and I'm from the Bay. That's 6 hours from me. So I was, sleeping in the car doing what I had to do. So a lot of that projected into what happened today, into what you see now. And me even meeting all these people. I was camping out, whatever it is. Like it's a lot of people I made sure I met. And it's a lot of, and basically I'm the type of person I'm gonna find you if I really want to. Talk to you and holler at you, I will find you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I say it's like that. It's not easy to link up with people in LA. They're so busy doing what they doing. They involved with their life. So they not really wanting to give you that time of day. But if you come with a good strategy and a good plan, you should be able to make it happen. How I linked up with Bobby Love was shout out Fruitown in LA. Shout out Fruitown in Compton. You feel me? Because when you get to LA, you're going to realize LA is LA, Compton is Compton. Learning the politics over there. Like I said, I'm from the Bay. We got different politics. We not cripping and blooding out there in the Bay, right? Yeah. It's on the outskirts of the Bay. So I'm not knowing how this culture go. If you in Compton, you call a dude, LA dude, he going to get mad at you. Like, nah, I'm from Compton, bro. I'm not from LA. So, it's a whole thing. So I want to shout out Compton, Fruitown. They're the reason why I even was able to link up with Bobby Love. I linked up with the guy from the Soulja Boy beef. When Soulja Boy went to the hood with his phone and he like, they say Soulja ain't from the hood. That was here. I linked up with dude that pushed him off, Young Hated. That's my guy. So that's how I got into it. Yeah, they're all involved, with the Compton movement. So that's how I got involved.
Okay. I think I remember what I wanted to ask now. So I wanted to ask, because we kind of spoke about how, with Ray J, that was kind of like a marketing type of thing back then. Like, let me associate myself with Ray J, you know what I'm saying, for me, right? But like, the game has changed so much since back then. So like, what's some new, like right now, is it easier to market yourself, or like, what's the deal with marketing yourself like in 2023? Like, is it easier or is it hard?
It's easier and harder, right? Because it depends on what you selling. So if you selling, I don't want to disrespect nobody craft and down they stuff. If you're a comedian, right, a comical dude that I don't know just starts all these beefs and all this and all that, yeah, it's easy, right? But then look at the energy that you surrounding yourself with. Look at the energy that could come back to you possibly. We done seen it. We done seen on lives, brothers getting killed, all types of stuff. So that's one way you could go about it. That's not how I want to go about it. I could go about it like that. I'm an entertaining dude. I did some stuff like that in the past, but like I could really go about it. But I'm not a clown. You feel me? I'm not trying to make this a comedy skit that'll take off with the music, So depending on what you do, it's easier and it's harder. You know what I mean? But it's all on connections and networking. I don't care what nobody say. It ain't really even about if it's easy or hard to get on. It's about your network. What's your networking looking like? What's your networking skills looking like in your talking game? That's what it's all about. If you ask me, who are you locked in with? Because with one snap of the finger, your life could change. One snap of a finger, somebody could do something for you that you
For
can't do
sure.
for yourself, right?
For
Mm-hmm.
sure.
100%.
You know?
So I was looking at your website, and you have like a bunch of albums up
Yeah.
since 2008 all the way until now. But when I'm looking at this list, I'm like, why isn't all these albums on Spotify or Apple Music?
They is on Apple Music.
I mean, when I look at Apple Music, I see, I think it's the first album, and then I see the last one. I don't see the other ones.
It's in the EP section. I went through a lot of record label drama, and I had to take off certain songs off my album. So a lot of them have been made into EPs because when I got signed with Atlantic, we went through a lot of record label issues. So go to the EP section, and you're gonna see all of the albums. Spotify is only gonna show up to 2016. Apple Music, it'll show up to 2012.
Okay. Okay.
It's one song from 2008 on there. That's like my first song as a kid. So I'm surprised you even found that song. But my career really started in 2012, 2013. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I want to ask you because you just brought that up. So like the record label stuff, and I don't want you to get into specifics, about like what happened and stuff like that. But so I wanted to ask, like, what's your situation now? Is this like totally independent, or is like are you like I'm never dealing with that shit again, or like what's your opinion about the industry at this point?
Well, I got love for the game, and I'll never disrespect the game. So, regardless of anything that happened, I got love for the industry. I got love for the record labels and whoever helped me out. It didn't work out. It didn't work out. This is a huge industry right now. I'm independent, but I just got out of a deal not too long ago that was a distribution under Warner Music and Atlantic Records. We tried to get a deal going with Atlantic. The first one didn't work out. Second one was with ADA, and that's a distribution company under Warner Music Group.
Mm-hmm.
It worked out, and then it didn't work out because of promotion reasons. I'm not, I ain't gonna go too far into it, but promotion reasons. Basically, I'm thinking that I'm gonna get the Cardi B treatment. You get what I'm saying? And
Can we talk more into like that for artists of your stature, right?
yeah,
When you get the deal, they're talking to, I'm guessing, your manager and everything, and then your manager relays it to you that you got this contract and these label wants to speak to you. So when you're going through this deal and everything, are you pointing out extra things that you want along with the contract, or are they kind of like black line in certain things? Because it's just like, did they let you know that, hey, that you're going to get the Cardi B treatment? There's going to be a bunch of writers and there's going to be all these producers, everything behind you, or was it like they expect you to have all that kind of stuff set it up for your own album and your own rollout?
so yeah, that's kind of what they I can't speak all. I wanna say the real, but I'm not trying to make nobody look bad or nothing like that, man. So I'm not gonna go there. But I'll say this: I thought something that was not what it was. I'm not gonna say somebody made me think this. I'm gonna let y'all figure it out, right? Anything could have happened, right? So I thought something was what it was, and it wasn't what it was, and that's pretty much how that went.
Then going forward, what would be your ideal situation? Because you have a lot of experience in the game already, and it also seems like you're very confident, like going out to get what you want. We talked about like persistence earlier, and hey, I'm going to be outside the record labels. So as you look to like the next stage in your career, like what's your ideal situation? Is it having complete control, being independent? Is it being independent with distribution? Do you want to, be back in the label system? What would be your like ideal situation going forward?
Well, looking at the Nipsey Hussle blueprint, my next ideal situation will be a Nipsey Hussle, how he did the Victory Lap album where it's mostly a partnership. It's a partnership. So it's like, but every contract is different. You're going to have certain things that you could put in there, certain things you can't put in there, certain things you want to put in there, certain, and just like, dude, you was just saying, it's certain, I wasn't asking for certain things. Like I was asking, I wait till after, give me the contract. We look it over. Lawyers look it over. Then if it's anything I need to add into the contract, I'm going to add it into the contract. Now, some people, they all on one string and on one accord, and you not knowing that, right? The main objective of the record deal was to obtain my publishing and my songwriting, because it's just a lot. So I had to go to court for that, get songs back granted to me. The judge was really cool. Shout out to him, Los Angeles. He let me get a lot of my stuff back, but it was a battle for a while. I couldn't even release music for years, but that's just how the record labels go. And then you got to understand, Sony, Universal, Atlantic Records, Warner Music, all these labels, Capitol Records, it's a lot of people signed to them that you have never heard of in your life. And I promise you, they've been on this label for 5 years as an artist. And you might meet them in public. They'll be, man, I'm signed to Atlantic. What? But you'll never know. You'll never know. So I'm just saying, that's how it go in the industry. It's a lot of people that's involved, and some people get they shine, some people don't. Some people get placed on the shelf. It's a lot going on.
Yeah, I definitely hear that a lot. So what advice would you give some other artists in your position? Would you take the deal like you did, or would you work on your own independent, get a little bit of buzz yourself, and then try to partner with these labels instead of working underneath and having them mold you, per se?
I would say it depends on really what you want to do as an artist. I can't say that what I did won't work for the next person or will work for the next person, or what I didn't do. You gotta, look at Ariana Grande. She's a product of the industry. They created her image and she did well. Justin Bieber, he did well. Chris Brown at first, he did well. So, Rihanna did well. So it's a lot of people that do go into that lane and it works out for them. But it's a lot of other things behind them driving that force to happen. You got to have a whole bunch of support. So I would say,
right,
I'm definitely interested in always, working and expanding. But as far as what I would recommend to artists, make sure you know your business. Make sure you get the industry. Make sure you know your business. I've been studying this for years now, just learning and then just going through stuff. But you'll never know till you go through it. The first deal Atlantic we was working on, I couldn't take the deal because I'm not going to throw away my self-dignity. And that's how I'm going to just leave it at that. The second deal, it was more so well, we know you didn't take the first one, so we're going to get you with the second one because we need your music. So that's kind of what it was. And like I said, shout out to everybody in that building. I ain't got no hate for anybody. Shout out Dallas Martin. Shout out Kanisha LaFell. Shout out Rich Harris. Shout out to everybody in that building who I've been with. I even met the people that put on Bruno Mars. So they'll show you all these different things, but don't let the Hollywood get to you, because Hollywood will fuck you up. So don't let the Hollywood image, because a lot of people, they'll just sink into the image, man. Once you get this and once you get that, it's so easy for you to just sink into the image and then feel like you good and feel like these people got your back for real. I always tell people, anytime you walk into a place of business, whether it's a job, whether it's whatever, if you came in there thinking or came in there with the mindset, I'm going to have friends, these people going to be my friends, I'm going to make, you done failed already before you walked in the door. Just leave now, because you done failed already. If that was your mindset at a job, anything, that these people gonna be your friends or whatever, you done failed already.
R&B niggas lame. Don't believe the hype. That was like one of your bars.
For sure. Don't believe the hype on my mama.
I gotta say, I know you say you're a motivational speaker, and you really are. I'm like, man, that was deep. You might have to preach.
Thank you, my sister.
I see you in the future as somebody's pastor or something.
I try, my sister. Thank you. No, I do want to go into that lane eventually, for sure. Yeah, okay.
Definitely. I kind of want to get into because you talked about Adam 22 earlier. Like, what business did you have with him? What's been going on? with him and his family and his wife. I'm trying to figure out like what did you do with Adam 22? He's not a rapper. He's not an R&B. Make music. You
We
just that
know we
guy.
just met. We just met and we was trying to talk business. I was trying to come on the show. That was a
What
long
type
time
of
ago.
business?
Just getting on the interview
Okay.
with no jumper. But he threw me on the vlog. He threw me on the vlog, like me and him, meeting up, shaking hands and talking real quick. Like he put me on the vlog. It's on J. Cole stops by. If you go on that vlog on No Jumper, J. Cole stops by. I'm in that vlog.
Mm.
But I was just trying to talk business on the No Jumper aspect. You know, but yeah, I've been hearing all the things going on with Adam 22. I got a new song that I said something about that. And I said, I'm not no Adam 22. I don't do no screens. And I'ma just leave it at that.
Okay.
It wasn't no diss or nothing, but I'm not a screen person. Don't put me on the screen.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
No, I feel that. I feel that. Now, I do want to talk about. So you talked about how back in the day you started off singing, if I remember correctly, and then you started
Correct.
rapping after in eighth grade.
Correct.
And then as you said, like, and with listening to your music, you got so many different styles. You could do this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? But what my question to you is, what do you consider yourself first, a rapper or R&B artist?
That's a real good question. Definitely. I ain't gonna sit here and lie or nothing for sure. It would have to be R&B artists out of those two. But I consider myself just an all the way around artist. You know what I mean? I songwrite.
Hmm.
I do a lot of different things. I executive produce. I put out a lot of young people stuff who don't have nothing. If I got it, you go look at some of my videos. You'll see it's like 3, 4 people in certain videos. We all rapping. I mostly funded them videos because I just want to see young people win. I want to give them something to do. So yeah, I would say that. I would say that. Definitely always gonna be R&B first. I'll never, let go of those roots at all. The
Hmm.
rapping came in to captivate the new generation, to lock them in. So once you locked in with this rap, whatever it is, then we'll go. Then you'll look at my other stuff. You'll look into the R&B. You'll look into the voice of the youth. You'll look into all these different the tapped in merch. All these different things I'm doing. The rap just attract the generation to it. So it's really a mind trick and a mind game just to get the new generation on it.
Hmm.
Yeah, you do a lot with like the new generation with your activism.
Thank you.
I know you discussed with Nipsey Hussle, and you said that you continue what he worked for. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, exactly. The marathon continues, man. Whether it's in LA or the Bay Area, this all California. So that was a California artist that inspired me. I met his brother Black Sam, and me and Nip, I felt like we was gonna do something. Even me and Black Sam, I feel like at the time we was gonna really do something. I was gonna get to Nip, like I said, I wasn't that far along. I just talked to his brother. I gave him my music. We had a great motivating conversation. Told me to keep going, but then Nip shortly passed after that. So
So he was talking to Black Sam about the activism part or the music. Like what part was it?
mostly music and entrepreneurship and just having a business and things like that. Just staying motivated out here. So shout out to Black Sam for that. But honestly, I don't even know if he would remember because of how the situation was and what done happened now. That was in 2019, like right before Nip died. So
Yeah, it's
yeah,
tragic for his family. So shout out to them and
exactly. Shout out to Nip.
condolences
So
and stuff like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting him to call me after that, you know what I mean? But it was an unfortunate situation, and I said I got to continue this marathon. I got to take something that Nip put out here in the world, and I got to use it, and I got to run with it. So for the
And what
benefit,
was that? And what is the message exactly?
so the message is to help these kids, get them a voice, be an advocate, help out the communities, teach entrepreneurship, teach ownership, teach financial literacy, teach these kids all the things that we don't get to be taught. Teach these kids things in lower neighborhoods and stuff like that that they may never know. You know what I mean? To help them
Yeah, talk
succeed.
about it.
Yeah, to help them succeed in life. That's all I'm trying to do is put my best foot forward to be a positive influence for these kids and use whatever I've done in my life to motivate and inspire them and be like, you could do this. I always tell them, you gonna be better than me. You gonna be better than me.
Are you talking to them about music, or is it like and get in the business of music, or is it just in general, like the
It,
financial stuff? What exactly are
it's
you teaching?
it's mentoring, it's all types of, it's life skills, life coaching. um um but also, if they want to talk about music, we'll talk about it. And not everybody makes music. Well, everything kind of comes in at some point, because everybody's interested in the music industry, or the entertainment industry. We all love
Hmm.
music, right? We all have songs on our iPod, and some people want iPhone, and some people wonder, how did these artists go about this? How did this happen? So that's where I come in, and I give y'all the real spiel that you might have never heard. So, that's just one small part of it, but I mainly focus on mental health. I mainly focus on helping the community and rebuilding the community, and just helping these kids stay out of trouble, lower the violence and all that. So that's what I mainly focus on, is a mentorship type of thing, being a bigger
Yeah,
brother, or something like that. I don't have no brothers, no sisters. I grew up, alone, and I wasn't, so privileged as a child. So I was alone. Imagine going through all that alone, though. So I didn't have no
yeah,
brother, no sister. So that's why I'm here for these kids too, because I'm like, I'm gonna
yeah.
step up.
So
What
how
are the
long?
kids like?
They great. Shout out to all my kids. I love them, especially my kids all over the Bay Area, man. Shout out to my kids at Alameda. You already know what time it is with y'all. Shout out to my kids at Dublin. Shout out to my kids in Oakland. Shout out to my kids in Los Angeles. Shout out to the Crenshaw district. Shout out Developing Options. And shout
Shout
out
out
to
to
my
all the
kids.
kids.
Yeah, shout out to my kids in Santa Rosa too. You already know.
So how long have you been mentoring?
I've been doing this since 2019. So 2019, that's what I'm saying. When Nip died, I had some trouble with law enforcement, and that projected me to change my whole life. I wasn't gonna play no more. I truly seen the value of life. When you taken from your environment, and you got to sit up in that small ass cell, and oh my goodness, nah, man, this ain't for me. So I had to step up, and now I'm like, nah, I got to help these kids so they don't end up here.
Mm.
Are they receptive to it, or is it kind of hard to get through to them sometimes? Like, because
At first,
obviously they,
at
because
first.
you were older dudes, they probably like, man, who is this nigga? Like, so how is that?
At first it is, but
Hmm.
also, I'm not too far from them in age, so a
Yeah.
lot of them rock with me off top. It only be like a few of them that it take a long time for them to come around, right? Because they know my music career, they see everything, they see what I'm on, they know what I'm on. So, if they just want to be, they just don't know you. So that's probably some of the reason. They don't know who you telling this information to. So that, it's probably just a mindset thing. Like, they're not sure what I'm gonna do with this information. Can I trust this dude? Is he here to get me in
Right.
trouble, or is he here to help me out? So I think
Right.
that's kind of what it is. And just showing them and proving to them, now you could trust me. I ain't on that bull stuff. I'm here to help your life out for real. So once that message gets across and they see that, then they come around. But I say it's easier because I'm a music artist than an average person. They have something to look at. They have something to go by. They have something that inspires them. They might want to make music. They looking at it like, you get what I'm saying? So
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel that. I was wondering just because, like, some people that be like, well, let's say it's like a kid that's in the streets, like real heavy or whatnot. Like,
yeah.
that, they may feel like, oh, if you ain't out here doing drills, like, I'm not finna listen to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you get through to somebody that's like really just not trying to listen to nothing?
Oh yeah. They got those too. They got those too. I don't give up on them. I keep trying. I can't save everybody. And maybe they'll come around later. What I do is like to plant seeds. It's all about planting seeds.
Hmm.
I'm not here to tell you to stop gang banging. I'm not here to tell you to stop doing this and stop doing that. That's your life. You're
You're
gonna
not
do it.
you're not gonna tell them to stop getting baby?
That's their life. They're gonna do what they do. I can't stop anybody from doing what they do. It's about planting the seeds early so that they know what life is about. So when these times come up later, just like it did for me, I didn't listen to
Hmm.
nobody. So it was nothing nobody could tell me when I was a kid doing what
Mhm.
I was nothing. I don't care who you was. You was not finna tell me nothing. So same
Yeah.
thing here. Same thing here. I know how they operate. So I'm not pushing so hard for you to just, change your life today. Like, nah, man, I already know how it go. I'm
Yeah.
planting seeds.
Yeah.
So when certain
Hmm.
situations happen in your life,
Would you
you'll be
say that
like,
would you say that jail helped you? Like it
Yeah,
was a
no,
good
jail.
thing
I
for you?
needed to go. I needed to go. That was the best thing. That was one of the best things and one of the worst things I ever went through in my life. But
Mm.
I say one of the best because I would have never been on the mindset that I'm on today, man. It really truly helped me realize how important life is and the value of life and the value of your freedom. You know,
No,
when
for
you sitting
sure.
up in there, they got, I mean, it's black stuff flying in the water. You pour your glass of water, it's black stuff flying in the water. I mean, it's you cut open a piece of chicken meat. The meat is black. Yeah, I mean, come on, man.
Man,
Come on,
that
man.
shit crazy. It's really not rehabilitation like it should be. Like it's really like they be treating people in jail and prison like
Yeah.
they not even human. Like it's really crazy.
And we've been in
Well,
chains already. You know the
Yeah.
history. We've been
Yeah.
in chains already. We've been doing this has all been in history already. So I'm not gonna backtrack. Nah, man.
do you think it should be like as harsh, or do you think it should be a little bit more lenient and more about the rehabilitation?
I'm not saying it should be lenient. It needs to be more about rehabilitation. You know what I mean? I don't know about the lenient or whatever. I don't know. You know, but I haven't been to prison, so I can't speak on prison. But
Hmm.
I'm just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I think, like you said about rehabilitation, that's really what's important. It's like, how do you develop new skills? Because if you don't have anything else to do when you get out except what you already know how to do, of course you're going to go back to that. So, I know you talked earlier about teaching kids like financial literacy, entrepreneurship, like how to make music, the music business. Like that's a skill that somebody can actually use to then say, okay, I want to redirect my life. And I think there needs to be more avenues for people to learn those sort of skills.
I agree. I agree. I agree. That's what I'm definitely trying to do here. That's all I'm trying to do. You know, I'm trying to save these kids. I'm trying to save the generation. I can't do it alone, but I'm gonna do what I can. You know,
I
Yeah. So
respect
how
that.
can people help out? Do you like have a bunch of volunteers or
right
yeah?
now it's just me. I'm a one-handed band on a lot of stuff. You know, I'm a one-man band on a lot of stuff. Man, I'm not waiting around for people and all this and all that. I'm gonna get it done. You dig what I'm saying? But I work with school districts though, so shout out to the school districts and the other staff that's around doing what they have to do as far as teachers, as far as who liaisons and other people that also bring it together. You know, I ain't just the one person that brings it together. It's parents, it's teachers, it's a lot of staff involved. I just do what I do one on one.
So do you have like a nonprofit that people could reach out to if they wanted more information or like to donate to volunteer with?
Yes, yes. And we will be getting to the volunteers where it'll grow more, but it's all for the kids. So I'm gonna have the kids be the volunteers. They're going to help build this company with me. This company is for them. I'm not saying I'm the voice of the youth, but that's the name of the nonprofit, Voice of the Youth.
Okay.
I'm not saying I'm the voice of the youth, they the voice. And I'm giving y'all a platform to use your voice and your voice needs to be heard. So even like we about to have a podcast soon, probably, but the kids gonna run that. I'm not even gonna really be involved with running the podcast. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like it's mainly creative things for kids to do. So we can open up music centers. We can open up football leagues for the kids that didn't make it to the track teams and didn't make it to the football teams and didn't make it on the basketball teams who got bad grades, who might think about doing a bad decision tomorrow because now they ain't got nothing to do.
Hmm.
You feel me? So now we got to come and give these kids something to do. That's our job, to give them something to do. I'm looking around in the summer right now. These kids ain't got nothing to do. So follow our nonprofit. It's called Voice of the Youth LLC on Instagram. Follow Voice of the Youth podcast on Instagram. And that's how we rocking. thevoiceoftheyouth.com as well.
For sure, we're gonna put all that in the description box. Y'all definitely tap in with that. But before we go, I do want to talk about new music that Amari J got coming out sometime in the near future. So I want to kind of ask you about your new project and see if you want to speak about what's going on with it, features, beats, the process, and all that type of stuff. So go ahead and speak on that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you already know, man. So 2023, I dropped Mr. Buster Move. Then I dropped another album called Fatal Attraction.
Hmm.
Now, the next album is going to be called 1517. This for my granny address. My granny that's on my chain right here. Uh, she passed away.
Okay.
in May. But yeah, it's it's
Mm.
it's it's her address, 1517. It's gonna be one of the realest albums I've made. It's gonna have everything in there for you. My granny loved to go to the casino, so it's a song on there called Casino.
Yeah.
It's crazy. This album has yeah, it has everything. Like it has everything. It got the party, it got the street stuff, it got the sad, it got the change your life songs. It got everything on this album. This probably the most different album I've made out of all my albums. So be on the lookout for this 1517. Right now the first single is out. It's called 1517 Intro. Go get that right now. But 1517, y'all, that's the new album coming soon.
And what's the process been like, putting that together? Has it been like a good grieving process for you? Because like you said, you lost her in May. So like, has it been a real therapeutic, experience for you?
And man, to be honest with you, it really has, and that's why I said it's the best album I probably made. And I ain't even a person that look at my albums and be like, "Oh, this the best I done made," or "This gonna be the best song." I don't look at nothing like that. But for me
Hmm.
to say that, my friends know how I really be. But for me to say this is my best album, they know it's serious. So like, man, I done cried many times writing this. I done cried many times writing this shit. I done cried many times in the studio with this shit. I done cried many times listening to this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not a sad vibe. That's not at all, but it's it's the truth and it's the real. And I never heard my real story like this over these beats and over these songs, man. So
Hmm.
just getting to the real. I remember like I was crying the other day listening to one of them songs, and it wasn't even a sad song, but like just the beauty of the music too, and going through it, and every song I'm like, can't believe my uncle died and now my granny gone. Every song I'm talking about my granny gone. You feel me? So like you know what I mean? I'm going hard for this. Her house is in the album cover. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the front, her house in the back. So it's like I'm making this together. The chain, it's all for granny, man. 1517 chain on the way too.
No, that's dope then. So how you feel about like maybe performing these, like, since it's such a vulnerable, like very vulnerable content and things that you wrote? Like, do you feel like you gonna have trouble performing that? Because like I know some people are like that, where it's like, damn, this is so real. I don't even know if I could put this on the stage. You know what I mean?
See, you're right, but I'm a real entertainer. So that's the time that I want to be on the stage. That's the time I want to be on the stage the most. So y'all could feel these emotions and y'all could see these emotions. I'm a real entertainer. I'm a real artist. So I'm on that Chris Brown singing, breaking down on the stage.
Yeah.
I'm on that. You feel me?
Hmm.
I know you're saying it's like real, but how do you think the audience and people listening to is going to take the album? Is it going to
Well,
sound still like good and not make them feel too down about listening while they're listening, making them feel sad or
that's what I'm
like
trying to say. It's not really a sad vibe. You know what I mean? It's sad for me because I'm thinking about all of this shit while it's playing my grandma and all that. But it's not really a sad vibe. So I done already gave some previews to my audience in the studio. They loving the album. But like I said, every song, it's just real. It's not sad. It's just real. Let me put it
Hmm.
like that. I don't want to put it like it's sad or depressing. This is my family, so I'm gonna feel how I feel, right? Listening to it, because this is the aftermath and all of that. So that's what I'll
Yeah.
say. I don't make music for me. I just want to get that straight with everybody. I don't know if other people do that. I don't make none of my songs for me. I'm not here to make music for me. I'm not here to listen to my music and make it for myself. I'm here to make it
Hmm.
for the people. This is all for the people. So I'm gonna give the people what they want.
And music is such a time capsule. Like, you know where you were when you wrote these songs, where your mind was at, where your emotions were at. So yeah, for you, of course, it is going to be like an emotional trigger because the background of the music, even if, like you said, it's happy music, it might not make other people sad. For you, it's gonna be like, yeah, but I know this was a real rough day when I wrote this. This was the day I was really missing her, and this was the day I needed to get to the studio to clear my mind. So it makes sense how there could be, maybe a little bit of a difference in emotion between how you feel about it and also how the music sounds to everybody else.
Yeah, I agree. I just say it's more real. It's real life, Not and it's not really even all my life. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's real life, what happens in the streets, what happens in real life. That's pretty much as best I could put it.
yeah, that's interesting that you say you make music not for yourself and you make music for the fans. Because I feel like
Exactly.
most artists today, they're making music for themselves. And they always be like, well, fuck with the fans. Like, I'm making like my artistry and my work. And what I like to listen to is what I'm going to put out because fans are fickle. They're going to listen to whatever artistry you put into it and whatever as long as you can persuade them, they're going to think it's hot. They're going to think it's the dope song of the day. So I think it's pretty interesting that you're saying, "Oh, I make music for the fans." Like, what made you like think that way? In a sense, it's like, why don't you make music for yourself? It doesn't that wouldn't that be more important to make music for yourself and your fans?
No, I wouldn't say that because it's not for me. It's for them. You know what I mean? If you an artist and you trying to sell records and you here to sell records, I mean, you got to be here for your fan base. So, but maybe that's just me looking at artists like Michael Jackson and Chris Brown who actually do things for their fan base. You know what I mean? Who actually, Team Breezy and all that type of stuff. Like, you know what I mean? So maybe that's why I'm looking at it like that. But I'm a public servant. So with the voice of the youth and all that, even the music, I'm a public servant. I'm here to serve the public. I'm not making this for myself. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how to explain it, but like to me that's kind of selfish. But like I'm not. Yeah, that's like I'm here for the people. I'm here for the people.
I would think Chris Brown and Michael Jackson would be like they would make music for themselves because they came out with something new. It wasn't a sound that came out before. So to me, that's like making music for yourself because the fans haven't got that kind of sound yet. Like you're like the originator of it. So that's like
That
making music for yourself to me.
yeah, that too. That too. You could say that too. But it's like it depends, like your love for your fans. Michael Jackson had a strong love for his fans. Chris Brown got a strong love for his fans. The other people, I don't see other artists talk about their fans like they do sometimes. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I mean the connection with your fans to me is the best. But that's Michael and that's Chris. Anything they put out gonna sell and go straight
Mm-hmm.
to the fans and do what they do. So they could make it for themselves or whoever, it's gonna sell. But you get what I'm saying? My mindset when I get in there, yeah, I make the song, it's my song, right? Of course, about me or my life or whatever, but it's for the public though.
Right.
For
Right.
y'all to sell, for y'all not to sell, for y'all to listen to y'all when you going through something, go throw this on. You know what I'm saying? I got artists I listen to when I go through something. You know what I mean? Sometimes I listen to some of my songs, but I got other artists I go to. Not all myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just think that's different because like artists now, like Doja Cat is saying "F the fans." Like I don't know y'all.
Oh no,
Like
I ain't with that. You wouldn't be nowhere without your fans, so I could never agree on that. I come from that generation where we really got love for our fans, though. I do a lot for my
right.
people, my social media fan base. I feed my audience for real.
Well, listen, man, that's been Amari J. That 1517 is coming very soon. We're gonna put the links to the nonprofit down in the description. But yeah, Amari J, man, we appreciate you for coming through, man. This has been a great conversation.
Most
Um,
stuff.
I guess any last words for the people before you get up out of here?
Just wanted to say appreciate y'all at the Friends Podcast. Y'all some good people over here, man. Shout out to Michigan, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to the Friends Podcast, for letting me on and just
Appreciate that.
having a great time with y'all and a great opportunity to do this interview. I got love for y'all, man. Rod G, Jay, and then we got Brisk, man.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you for coming through. Like I
Yes,
said,
sir.
come through anytime. We fucking with you. So, like I said, that's been Amari J. This has been the Friends Podcast, and we out. Peace out.
That's the
Bye.
day right there.
Salute. Shout out Michigan.